Hi, welcome to my video on quadratic word problems. And this one is on the sides of a right triangle. Some example, let's do one for you. If you want, you can pause the video and work it out yourself ahead of time. But here we go. The sides of a right triangle are consecutive even integers. Find the lengths of each side. So we have a right triangle, which is a right angle. The sides are consecutive even integers. Well, consecutive even integers are like 4, 6, and 8. And there's 3 sides, so if we let the first one be x, then the next one is going to be x plus 2. The next one is going to be x plus 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 4 plus 4 gives you 8, so you're always adding 2 on. So the longest side is x plus 4, that's the hypotenuse, and the other 2 sides are x and x plus 2. So we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared is the Pythagorean property in a right triangle. C is the hypotenuse, so it's x plus 4 squared equals x squared, add on x plus 2 squared, and that expands out to x plus 4 times x plus 4 equals x squared is x squared, and x plus 2 times x plus 2. And let's do this multiplication here by FOIL. So x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 4 is 16, x squared, and we do the FOIL on these two. X times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 2 is 4. And they simplify to x squared plus 8x plus 16, and that's x 2x squared, add on 4x plus 4. And we have a quadratic, so let's move them all to the left side. X squared minus 2x squared plus 8x minus 4x plus 16 plus minus 4 because I'm moving it over equals 0. Add 1 and negative 2 is negative x squared plus 4x plus 12 equals 0. And we multiply by negative 1, so x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. And let's go way up here to the top. That factors as x squared is x times x. The factors of 12 to give you 4 is 6 and 2. And the product is negative, the sum is negative, so it has to be negative 6 plus 2. So x minus 6 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X equals 6. Or x equals negative 2. And dealing with the negative number, we put a negative, if x is negative 2 and we put a negative 2 here, the side becomes a negative length, so we can't have it. So we have to omit the x equals negative 2. So we have x is one side, x plus 2 is the other. So 6 plus 2 gives us 8. And the hypotenuse is x plus 4, so it's 6 plus 4 is 10. So the sides are consecutive even integers of 6, 8, and 10. And practice means you can pause your video and work this one out on your own if you wish. And here we go. The legs of a right triangle are 3 less than and 6 less than the hypotenuse. Again, we have a right triangle. And when I draw the diagram, I don't have to write the statements out. The legs are 3 less than and 6 less than the hypotenuse. So if I let the hypotenuse be x, the legs are 3 less than, so it's x minus 3, and 6 less than is x minus 6, drawing the diagram. tells the person who's marking this question that everything is laid out and I don't have to write the statements. So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, the Pythagorean property of a right triangle. And that c is the hypotenuse, which is x plus 3, and x minus 3 and x minus 6 squared. So that gives me x squared. X minus 3 times x minus 3. Let's expand it out. So I can multiply by FOIL. And that gives me x squared. FOIL on that is x squared minus 3x plus 9. FOIL on these two is x squared minus 6x plus 36. Simplify the right side, I get a 2x squared. And I get a negative 6, and it makes it negative 18x plus 45. And we move them all to the left side. As I do, I change the signs. And we get negative x squared plus 18x minus 45 equals 0. Multiply by negative 1. X squared minus 18x plus 45 equals 0. And that's, let's go up here. Give yourself lots of space. That's factorable. X and x. And the factors of 45 are, 45 is 1 times 45 and 3 times 15. And 3 and 15 gives me the 18, so 15 and 3 gives me 45, and I need two negatives because the product is positive, the sum is negative. So x minus 15 equals 0, or x plus 3 equals 0. X equals 15, or x equals 3. And if I take the 3 and put it in, great, but if I put 3 here, I get a 0. Or if I put 3 here, I get a negative 3. So I can't use the 3, but I can use the 15. So x is this side. So x minus 3 is 15 minus 3, which is 12. The other third side is x minus 6, so 15 minus 6 is 9. And so the sides are 15, 12, and 9. So that's the Pythagorean property in dealing with the right triangle, but it ends up to be, in this case, quadratics solvable. And number 3, the diagonal of a rectangle is x plus 10. The sides are 2x minus 4 and x plus 2. Find its perimeter, and all the units are in centimeters. So, because when we get perimeter, the unit's going to be in centimeters. So we have a rectangle. And a rectangle has all right angles in the corner. Rectangle has opposite sides equal. The diagonal of a rectangle, the diagonal goes from one corner to another, not being a side. So there's the diagonal. I could have drawn this diagonal, but the diagonals of a rectangle are equal. So that's an x plus 10. And the sides are 2x minus 4 and x plus 2. And notice we have a right triangle again, which is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C is the hypotenuse. If you think about it, there's right triangle. C is the hypotenuse, A and B are the legs. So we have the hypotenuse as x plus 10 being squared. And one side is x plus 2, and the other side is 2x minus 4. And we expand that out, take our time. Remember, doing FOIL, my pen just ran out. Doing FOIL makes it easier to work out. That's why I take my time and expand it, like I'm doing. And then hopefully I won't make an error. So x times x, x squared, x times 10, 10x. 10 times x is 10x. 10 times 10 is 100. Oop, make it 100. And FOIL on these two is x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4. The FOIL on these two is 4x squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 16. And I simplify each side first before transposing, so 10 plus 10 is 20. And I simplify this, I get a 1x squared, and 4x squared is 5x squared. 4, and I have 4, negative 4 and 8 is negative 12x, and 4 and 16 makes 20. Both sides are fully simplified. So now I bring all the variables to the left side. And I change 5x squared to negative. I change 12x, negative 12x to positive, changing plus 20 to a minus. And I have a negative 4x squared plus 32x plus 80 equals, that's an 80 equals 0. And I see 4 is a factor here. 4 is a factor in 32 and 80, so I'm going to divide all terms by negative 4. Makes it simpler. So x squared minus positive divided by negative is minus 8x minus 20. And 0 divided by negative 4 is 0, and it's factorable. X squared is x and x. The factors of 20 to give me an 8 are 10 and 2. Remember, the product is negative 20 and the sum is negative 8. So 10 and 2 multiplies to give you 20. But it's negative, so one of them's got to be negative and one of them's got to be positive. And x minus 10 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X equals 10, or x equals negative 2. And again, if we put a negative 2 in here, negative 2 gives me negative 2 plus 0 is 0, so we can't have a 0 for the length of the side of a rectangle. So x is 10. So now we got to get the length of the other sides. So the sides are x plus 10, so that's 10 plus 10 is 20. And x plus 2 is 10 plus 2, which is 12. And we got 2x minus 4 is the other side, so x is 10. So that makes it 20 minus 4 is 16. So the sides are 12 plus 16 plus 20, because we have to get the, not only get the length of the sides, which we need, but we also got to do the perimeter. And when we add all them up, we get a 48. And again, perimeter is in linear, 1 unit, so it's 40. The perimeter of this rectangle fitting this description is 48 centimeters. And let's continue to a fourth problem. This one is, I designed it to be a little bit different, as you're going to see, because that's quadratics, but hopefully everything will work out okay. And let's go. It says find the area of the triangle as a radical in simplest form. So notice we got 2 root 5x, we got 2 root 3x plus root 2, and root 6x minus 2. Again, Pythagorean is on the go, so c squared is a squared plus b squared. C is the hypotenuse, so it's 2 root 5x squared. A is 2 root 3x plus root 2 squared. And the b is root 6x minus 2 squared. Take our time. Now we got a radicals here, so we just got to be careful. There's a section that worked out on the algebra section, algebra 2, on a unit on radicals, that you should review or have gone over before you get into solving quadratics. So, again, that's Algebra 2 and Radicals, full unit. But let's square 2 root 5 times 2 root 5 is 2 times 2 is 4. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. So that's 20x squared. Now, we're going to expand this out. Write it down twice so we won't make a mistake. Add on root 6x minus 2, root 6x minus 2, and now 2 root 3 times 2 root 3, 4 times 3 is 12x squared. 2 root 3x times root 2 is root 2 times root 3 is root 6, so that's a 2 root 6x. And this is the same, so that's a 2 root 6x. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. And multiply these two by FOIL. Root 6 times root 6 is 6, and we get an x squared. And root 6 times 2 is a negative 2 root 6x. When I multiply these two, I get a negative 2 root 6x. And negative times a negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4. And we have to simplify the left side, add up the squares. 12 and 6 is 18. And that's notice that this is a positive, and that's a positive and that's a negative. They cancel out. That's a positive and that's a negative. They cancel out. And 2 plus 4 is 6. And we're solving, so we have x squared minus, notice I got no x's, so I'm going to leave that 6 there. And watch happen when I leave the 6. 20 minus 18 is 2, divide by 2, and I get x squared is equal to 3. So the square root of x squared equals plus or minus the square root of 3. X equals plus or minus root 3. And again, so x is equal to root 3, or x is equal to negative root 3. But if I put a negative here, negative root 3 here, I get a negative length. So the negative root 3 can't be used. So I have to, negative root 3 is the value of x. But this is find the area. To get the area, I have to get the length of the side. So let's find the length of AB. AB is 2 root 3x plus root 2. So x is root 3. Take our time, multiply. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. 2 3s is 6. And BC is root 6x minus 2. So x is root 3, so I'll sub it in. And that gives me root 18. Well, let me put it down right here. Root 18 is the root of 9 times 2. And the root of 9 is 3, so that becomes a 3 root 2 minus 2. And to get the area of a triangle, the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. And the base is BC, so BC is 3 root 2 minus 2. And the height is AB, which is 6 plus root 2. We multiply by FOIL now. And 3 root 2 times 6 is 18 root 2. 3 root 2 times root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. 3 2s are 6. And negative 2 times 6 is a negative 12. And negative 2 times root 2 is a negative 2 root 2. So again, we'll simplify those. 18 minus 2 root 2 is 16 root 2. 6 minus 12 is a negative 6. Now I take a half. Half of 16 is 8 root 2. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. And And the area is in feet, so that's square feet. So a little bit of extra problem, a little bit of math to work out, but it's good because you're using the Pythagorean, you're using the roots, you're squaring binomials, and you're solving, and you're working out the area for using radicals. You're doing a product of the radicals. So a total review. The more practice, the more skills you learn, the more math you learn, the more the math gets better in your learning your skills. If you like my video, click the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.